I'm taking a risk today. Yes, I'm taking a risk. We'll see if I can get this done with no noise in the background, right? Yeah, my kids are sitting there quietly doing their math homework. Okay, go. You can go. All right? Ask him. All right. Hello, Pina. Hello, hello, hello. I'm just getting, oh, look who's coming to see me. Look at him. Isn't he cute? Hello. Say hello. Look at him. There we are. Yes. Oh, he's like loving this. He's loving this. Okay, get to my point. Doing my video. Okay, go back. Okay. All right, today we are going to, I got to get my notes because there's a lot to cover. I've been writing it down so I stay on track. Okay, so we're talking about low carb diet 101. Okie dokie. All right, I have to say this just so that everybody knows that all this information I'm giving to you is just for learning purposes. It's not to advise anybody or to give any medical advice, just so you know. It's just my information, it's my knowledge that I've gained, and I just thought I'd share it with you. So, and I also wanted to say that it is important to be followed by a medical practitioner when you're on a low-carb diet, because they can watch your health. They can watch if you're going to have any health issues, and answer any further questions that they can give you. They can answer. Sorry, wrong word. All right. I want to say, if you have any questions, please put them in the comments, because I would love to answer them. Because sometimes I don't remember some information that I could share with you, or maybe you have a really good question that you could ask. So definitely ask questions, okay? All right, so today we're going to talk about the goal and what I recommend people eating, because there's so many different carb diets, low carb diets out there. So that's, really important to know. So the first is, oh, my dog. Okay, go. Comes right up here. Tries to get petted. Okay. So the goal. The goal of a keto diet or a low carb diet really is to get healthy. It is to see some of your issues go away. It is to see your weight loss go down. I mean, that's a good goal, but it should be the primary goal. You should be able to want to, you want to see more energy. You want to see more, better sleep. You want to see skin issues go away. You want to see, blood sugars balance, those kind of things. You want to see those things happen, because when they happen, your body starts to heal itself. And it has opportunity to heal itself. So the goal is to feel better, and then in turn you will look better. That is the goal. Okay, and that is the process you have to go into. That you can't look better before you feel better. Trust me, it doesn't work. The body doesn't function that way. So, sorry, my dog. So aim to do a low carb diet for the purpose of feeling better, and then to look better. So that is the first thing. And I say that constantly because, again, I said this yesterday, I'll say it again. People want to lose weight. They're very much about the image, and I have no problem with that. I understand why people want to look good. I mean, you want to feel good about yourself, because what you portray to people on the exterior matters, right? But you also want to feel good inside, because what is inside comes out. So if you're not looking good on the outside, that tells you there's stuff going on the inside that's not doing well, okay? And it's really important to clean up the inside first before you get to see the outside exterior looking good. So that's the first thing. And that's why I don't promote the whole weight loss plan first. I promote the health first, okay? The weight loss will come. I can guarantee you it will come. But you want to get the inside feeling good too. So that's the first, that is the goal. Complete fully. All right, so second question I was going to put forth today is, oh, I should add one more thing. If you put weight loss as your goal, it's not going to fly. I mean, you'll lose weight, but then guess what? You're going to go back to eating the way you used to, and you're going to end up gaining weight again. And some of the things some of the issues that you had before that you got rid of are going to come back. Yes, they will come back. I'm going to tell you that. Trust me, I've had that happen. And I quickly nipped it in the butt before it got bad. So don't do that. Don't aim for weight loss because it's not enough of a push. And it won't keep you to eating a healthy way. Because once you go on a low carb diet, you want to stay eating healthy after. Because if you don't, then you just go back into the same pit that you were in before. So don't do that. All right, so I think that covers everything. Again, if you have any questions, ask me, let me know. I would love to answer them. And second of all, who just showed it? Cindy, hello. I've been watching your posts, girl. Enjoy them. All right. Now, oh, sorry. There's another reason. I just realized. Sometimes it's a good thing I have these notes because I would forget. The second reason why was the second goal you want to gain in having a low carb diet is to eventually eat carbs. Now, you're like, what? A low carb diet is about not eating carbs. Well, initially, yes. Hi, Vicky. I miss you, girl. We have to have a video conference. Yes, we do. All right. Eating low carb is to help you get healthy. I am not an advocate for no carbs at all. My goal is always to be able to eat carbs again. Now, I'm not going to go back to eating carbs at every single meal like our North American diet does, okay? That is unhealthy. That is truly the most unhealthy thing ever. You know that food guide that we all get? Hello, Julie. You know that food guide that we all get, that says you should have tons of bread and then lots of veggies and very little fat and, moderate meat. It's wrong. It's so wrong. I'm just going to say it. I'm going to probably offend somebody in the health world. But anyways, it's wrong. It's not healthy at all. All those carbs are making us sick, okay? It's too many carbs. Too many wrong choice carbs, okay? Too much bread is bad, okay? Unless you were like a farmer and hand plowing and hand picking weeds and you're doing everything. Nowadays we don't do a lot of labor. So if you're doing heavy labor, you can eat more carbs. But even then, you don't want to eat too many. So the point is you want to get back to eating a balanced diet. Okay, carbs are not bad. We have gone through a season of time. I have watched it. I have thought about it. I have read about it. I have studied it. We've gone through a season of time that says carbs are bad. You can live without carbs. You don't need carbs. They're not healthy for you. That is not true. Okay, it's not true at all. We need carbs. We just don't need, we need certain ones more and certain ones less. So we need more vegetables. We need more root vegetables, but less grain-based, if that makes sense, right? We should be eating more legumes and that sort of thing. So that's kind of what I'm saying. But you still need to eat some wheat. You still need to eat some oatmeal. You still need to have some rice, but small portions and small amounts, okay? Because carbs have fiber. They have vitamins and minerals and phytonutrients that we all need for our bodies. And plus they give really good energy. And certain carbs help us to digest longer, especially if you combine them with fats. So if you eat root vegetables with fats, like cooked in fats, it's fabulous for helping you to last longer from meal to meal. And that just helps to balance that blood sugar spikes, that we all have with eating breads and sugars and stuff. It starts to do this, and then it starts to hold longer until you start to drop for the next meal, which is what we want. We don't want this up and down spiking of our blood sugars. So that's the second reason. That's the second goal. We want to get back to eating carbs, but reasonably balanced. Okay? So I just wanted to clarify that. Now, what do I recommend to eat? Okay. I have checked out a few diets, and some of them are really good. Some of them I would stay away from with a 10-foot pole because I think they're too strict. So so as I shared yesterday, when I started, I could not eat grains. I could not eat certain cruciferous vegetables because of my thyroid, as long as they were raw. I could eat them if they're cooked in fats, but I couldn't eat them in raw form. I'm just changing position because my arm's getting tired. I couldn't eat processed foods. I couldn't eat like certain allergic foods because I was already dealing with allergies. So my naturopath took everything out, a lot of it out. And then over time, I have put things back in as I have seen my body heal itself. So what I would recommend doing, I should say what I do now, let me explain what I do now. What I do now is when my gut's really doing really well, I eat a moderate amount of protein, lots of fat. I love fat. Fat's great. I am like a fat promoter. Seriously, I love fat. And I eat vegetables, and I love root vegetables cooked in fats. And I eat probably 1 to 3 times a week some bread carbs, but I make my bread carbs, the ones I eat. I don't eat store-bought bread because it has so many more toxins and things in there that I don't need. And my body doesn't process that very well. I've learned that. Toxins, my body doesn't like. So that's kind of what I do. And I don't eat as much fruit as I love. No, sometimes I do push it because I love fruit. I love fruit. Okay. But I've even had to cut back on that because that's still sugar. And then, as I said, when my gut's healthy, I can have the odd dessert probably once a week. And that can be like in the form of waffles on Saturday with syrup and whipping cream and all the, the stuff on top. Or it could be at a birthday party. But I don't have desserts very often. I don't need them anymore. I don't crave them as much. So it's usually special occasions like Christmas, I'll have a little bit, and I'm talking little bit. Okay, I eat very little compared to everybody else, just because I have to. And it's a good discipline. So that's what I do now. But what I recommend people doing, whenever you're looking at a low-carb diet, keep these things in mind. Now, I cannot tell you exactly what to eat, but this is my idea. The first thing you want to do is you want to eat protein. Generally every single meal. And when I say protein, I'm not talking 8 ounces of protein. I'm talking like 3 or 4 ounces, which equates to about, if you have a meatball and it's the size of about an inch round, it's about 2 or 3, it's about 3 or 4 of those. That's it. It's not a lot. And then this is for women, okay, guys? If you're a little taller than me and bigger than me, then maybe you'd have 5, but you don't need a lot. Generally, you follow the palm of your hand. Hello, Kathy. Oh, Joe, you've joined me. Hello, Marianne. So if you're a guy, then it would be more. I mean, my guys, I give them more like 6 to 7, max 8 ounces. You don't need a lot of meat. We are especially in Canada, we are a meat-loving country, right? And so just keep it moderate, okay? When I get a steak, I eat half of it and take the rest home for another meal. Unless I'm starving, then I'll eat it, but rare. But yeah, just keep it to a smaller amount. We shouldn't eat tons of meat, but you still need meat because it's very good for building your body back up. It's, for the protein. And I'm going to just say, if the meat is really good meat, like it's been grass-fed, you can totally go and have fun eating that fat on the meat, okay? Because it's very good for you. Don't let anybody say it's bad for you. It is good for you. You want to be careful about the fat on meat that is from processed factory type of meat, because fat is where animals store their toxins. So if they've been fed something that's bad, or they've been fed food that has been sprayed with chemicals and stuff, fat is where we store, well, even us humans, fat is where the toxins go. Okay, that's where the body puts it so that it stays contained and doesn't cause as much havoc on the rest of the organs. So keep that in mind. That's why I would avoid fat at restaurants, or certain restaurants, and store-bought stuff. That's why I avoid fat in that circumstance, but not generally in a good, properly raised farm. Meat from a good farm. Okay, that's the first thing. The second thing I would recommend, let me get my list here, lots of veggies. Lots and lots and lots of veggies. Oh, hello. Okay, I'm going to confess, I hated veggies. Okay, I didn't hate them, but I didn't like them very much. I was always like French fries, I was that kind of girl. And hence I got big. I didn't like salads. I'm going to be honest, I don't really like salads now, but I eat them because they're good for me. Hello, Natalie. I eat salads because they're good for me. And when I eat a salad, I do not use store-bought, what is it called? Or I rarely use store-bought, it's missing me. Give me a second. Dressing, that's what it is. Because they use poor fats in their dressing. They use soy oil and canola oil. Both are very bad for you. Just going to let that one out there. Soy really interrupts the thyroid and hormones in the body, and canola is not healthy. It's not made healthy. So, yeah, it's not good. So I usually make my own. I use recipes from companies coming, and I use my own oils and make it. Yeah. Or I'll just, sprinkle some olive oil and sometimes vinegar. I have to be careful with vinegar with the whole candida thing. But if I'm doing really good, then I can add some vinegar, or else I'll use balsamic vinegar, things like that. Or I'll just do it cold. But I have to have fat with my salad because it's boring. And fat helps you absorb those fat-soluble nutrients that you need, the fat-soluble vitamins. So, but other than a salad, and raw veggies, which are great, eat lots of those. And if you want to have a dip, which I am totally for, have a very high-quality dip that you make yourself. Okay, that's just the best thing. Because then you know what you're putting in it, and you can put a lot of good fats in. You can make it with eggs and stuff like that. Like if you're making a homemade mayonnaise or something. So you can do that. Other than that, though, I also recommend eating a lot of root vegetables cooked in good fats. So cook them in really well in bacon fat that is raised by a farmer properly. That's so good. Men have it right. I will vouch for those men. Hello, Roxana. Men have it right. Bacon is fabulous. I love bacon. Love it. So I use bacon fat all the time in my cooking. And again, you got to watch for the toxins in the fat. But if you can get a really good, well-raised pig, properly raised, fed properly, then you won't have to worry about the toxins as much. So bacon fat, you can also use coconut oil, you can use butter. Do not use margarine. Margarine is bad for you people. Don't use it. It's not real. Don't eat it. It causes toxins. It's bad for you. It's chemicals. Leave it out of your diet. It's not real. Done. I get scared of margarine. It's bad for you. So coconut oil. There's other oils that are really good out there. You just have to go research them. So that's basically what I use. But the root vegetables cooked in good fats really help to replace those bread carbs that you're craving. When I first started my low carb diet, yes, it's garbage. Margarine is garbage. I was like, I talked to my naturopath and I was like, what am I going to do? like, I eat lots of bread, like crackers and bread, and for breakfast and for lunch. And how am I going to replace that? What do I replace it with? And he said, your root vegetables cooked in good fats. And I did not believe him. But I went home and did it because I had to get healthy. And I did it. And oh my goodness, I was shocked. It works. It works, people. Because I loved my bread, people. I loved it. So, yes, use that instead. So I just will whip up some carrots or I'm trying to think, beets or something, and cook it in some good fats quickly, and then just eat it down with some other vegetables. Either they're other cooked vegetables in fats, or they're a salad, or what do they call it? Vegetables dipped in a sauce or something, or just crunchy stuff. That's what I do. So that's a really good thing. And my next thing I recommend is lots of fat. As I said, I love my fat. I eat lots and lots of fat. Why? Because fat helps you lose weight. Yes, it does. But certain fats only help you to lose weight. Coconut oil, bacon fat, real fat from a cow, like cream and milk. If you can get raw milk, which we can in Canada, if you can get raw milk, get it. It's fabulous for you. If you can't get raw milk, there's something else you can do, and that is you can ferment your milk. So what I do at my house is I will buy a 2% milk. I do not buy the 3.25 because it's homogenized, and I don't know. There's been some studies that are questionable about clogging of arteries with the homogenization process, but you can get... so 2%, and I buy whipping cream. I buy the highest whipping cream I can, 36%, and I pour a good inch of it into my bottle for my family, and then I shake it up. And then I pour it into a jar with my kefir grains, and I ferment my milk and make, I say kefir, it's kefir, I ferment it and I create my own kefir. And I have my family eat that instead of processed milk, because processed milk has very little nutrients in it, and it actually causes inflammation in your body. Yeah, they didn't tell you that, did they? Yeah, so that's what I do, and it really helps, and it actually gives you probiotics, and when you ferment your milk, it actually re-inoculates it with really good nutrients, vitamins, and different things in there, and it actually becomes healthier. So that's what I do, and it's great for your gut, really good for your gut. So you can do that, and you can drink lots of it. Just start slowly, because some people have more sensitive digestive system than others, and it'll make you go. Some people can't. If you're allergic to milk, then you can use coconut milk to make kefir. There's a great website called culturesforhealth.com. That's where I learned how to do my culturing, and it's a good option. So eat lots of fats. It's good for you. Excellent, excellent, excellent. So it helps you to lose weight. It helps your brain to function better. Fats help your body to function better. It helps your hormones to balance out. It helps your blood sugars to balance more, that sort of thing. Okay, so that's a really healthy thing to do. Also, what else did I say we should do? Give me a second. Okay, now getting to the carbs. Now, I separate vegetables from carbs because I see carbs as bread. Okay, now in terms of carbs, what you cut out is up to you and up to the diet that you choose. Generally, if someone's asked me what I would recommend, I would say I would probably cut out all refined grains, all refined products, all of them. I would also cut out all sugar. Now, I'm going to tell you, our meat in Canada, sugar gets injected into it. Yeah, so you got to be careful. If you have a recipe and like a spaghetti sauce and it tells you to put in sugar, don't. You don't need that sugar. It makes you addicted. Don't buy all those pastries from the store, the muffins and all that stuff. That stuff is bad. It's got soy oil or canola oil, which is not good for you. And it's got tons of chemicals. Make your own if you're going to make carbs, okay? Yes, that requires more time, or you can pay somebody to make really high quality stuff. It's up to you. But if you're going to cut carbs, which is what this talk is about, I would recommend removing the refined processed ones and sugar. And I would probably recommend decreasing the amount of bread products you eat in a day to one. As an adult, you can eat one a day. My family does that. Hi, Gisela. I just noticed you're on here. So I would say, once a day. If that's too drastic, then just, balance it out. The problem with our society is everything is made with wheat. Everything. And if it's not wheat, it's corn. Now, in and of themselves, they're not bad, but it's the type of wheat that people use, it's the type of corn that people use, it's the amount that we use that matters. And so for myself, I do make my own bread. I do make my own bread sometimes, and I'll make my own waffles and stuff like that. And I use grain that has been not tampered with. It's non-GMO. Stay away from GMO completely. And so when I'm making my stuff, I actually mill my own grain. I buy huge bags. Hello, Jessica. And I buy huge bags, and they're actually cheaper and I mill and make my own flour. And then I make my own grain products, and I don't make them a lot. My family does not like to eat a lot of bread especially since I started the low carb diet. My family has started to join on the bandwagon because they've seen what it's done for me, and they want it to help them. And so I would just recommend going down to one a day. So if you're going to have bread in the morning for breakfast, don't have anything else for the rest of the day. You have to plan your meals. When you're going low carb, you have to plan. Lots of planning going on. So that's what I recommend. And other things I recommend. I should say, if you're allergic to milk, you got to take milk out. So then get alternatives. I don't recommend soy milk. Messes hormones. Don't even go there. I recommend you can get almond milk, but there's certain qualities of almond milk that you should get. And a really good website to find that out is from the Weston A. Price Foundation. They're a website that you can find out, and they have really good recommendations. You could do coconut milk. We do lots of coconut milk in our house for smoothies, in addition with our kefir and yogurt. Oh, do not eat kefir or yogurt with sugar. That will not give you your fat. It does not replace. It will put on weight on you because of the sugar. The minute you put sugar with fermented products, in terms of yogurt and kefir, totally nullifies the goodness, okay? So a lot of the store-bought stuff, it's useless. So I do make my own, or I get somebody to make it for me. So I just thought I'd add that in. This is a longer video than I thought I would have, but there's a lot of things I could share. But if you're allergic to milk, then you have to find an alternative. If you're allergic to grains like I was, you have to remove it all. You have to remove it all. I know that for diabetics, it's best just to remove it all because you have to set your blood sugars. I had to reset my blood sugars because I was moving towards diabetes 3 years ago. And it's been a wonderful thing. And so to compensate for the grains in the diet, because I had to remove all grains in my diet, I just ate root vegetables at every single meal, cooked in fats. That's what I did, and it works really well. And again, your root vegetables, there's some root vegetables I wouldn't recommend. So don't eat white potatoes. You can have red potatoes, but not white. White potatoes acts like a sugar, so that's one. And when you do eat your root vegetables, you don't have a honkin' 2 cups full. You have like half a cup to a cup at max, okay? You have to listen to your body when you're eating because you can overdo it and you can actually cause stool problems. So that's what I recommend. And broth. Oh my goodness, broth is fabulous. It first of all makes your food taste great. So I put broth, I make my own broth and I put it into everything. I actually also do buy broth. I buy the crystals because sometimes I don't have time to make the broth. So broth is fabulous. You can drink it as a tea, which we do a lot in our house, because you can just put some like salt, no, sea salt. I don't use regular salt. Sea salt and pepper and oregano, and just stir it up. Perfect. Tastes so good, and your body just kind of just settles down, and you're just like, oh, it's great for winters too. I also put it in my rice when I'm making rice. I will put it into my pasta. I will put it into my non-gluten pasta. I will put it into all my sauces. I use it pretty much every day. So broth is really good for your gut too. Hello, Amanda. And as I said, if you can't eat milk, if you can't get raw milk products, ferment your milk. And add fermented foods in your diet because it's important. And I'll talk about that in another upcoming thing because this is getting long. And I do recommend supplementation, and I will talk about that also. So that's kind of what I would recommend. So when you're looking at a diet, keep those things in mind. I would not go low on a very low root vegetable diet, carb diet. You know those diets. There's some keto diets that have where you are not allowed to eat almost no root vegetables. I don't recommend that because those root vegetables are what's going to keep you full. With the fats that are cooked with it, and yeah, I don't like that. I think that's not safe. Just based on things I'll tell you as I go through this. So anyways, and again, don't eat tons of fat, tons of meat. It's not healthy for you either. But yeah. Oh, and fruit. Okay. I forgot to talk about fruit. Fruit. I love fruit. I love fruit. But fruit still has sugar in it. And it can put on weight. People say it can't. If you're really active, it's not as bad. But most of us are not. So if you want to start losing weight, I would probably stick to the berries because they have lots of phytonutrients in them and bioflavonoids and stuff, and they are really healthy for you, but they don't put a lot of sugar in you. I personally stay away from when, at certain points, if I'm really trying to lose weight, which I haven't been trying to in the last 2.5 years now, I stay away from apples if I have a gut health issue because there are lots of sugar and that feeds the candida thing. Bananas are okay as long as you don't overdo it, like one a day. Generally, you can eat fruit, but have one a day is what I'm saying. Don't have 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. Another thing is don't snack a lot because it'll just defeat the purpose. If you're not eating a lot of, if you are hungry in your low carb diet, you're not eating right. That's a sign you're not eating right. Okay, we'll talk about what to expect in your first 2-3 weeks when you start. I'll start talking about that soon. But that's kind of some things. I mean, I'll share more because there's things I'm forgetting right now. But, so I hope that helps you guys. That's kind of what I keep in mind when I look at a low carb diet. And, as I'm talking, I'm thinking, oh, there's this I should talk about in this. So if you have any questions, again, please comment them ask them. I want to know because then I can make sure I'm remembering things that I should share. And perhaps you'll have a question that you could stump me on because I've done this for 3 years and I pretty much know a lot. And I want you to, if you're going to do a low carb diet, I want you to be successful. I really want you to be successful. And there are things that people do not tell you that happens when you're on a low carb diet. And that's why I'm here. I want you to know what to expect because I have made mistakes in my low carb diet. And, I've paid the price a little bit. But I've also been very successful. So I want you to be successful too. So I'll leave it at that because this is a very long video. And you have a good day.